Okay, we have another series of races that we're going to be doing today in the Formula Mazda series. And these are open wheel cars, very similar to um, like a Formula V um, that used a Volkswagen engine, or a Formula Ford that used the engine out of a Pinto back in the 70s. This is a more modern version that uses a Mazda rotary engine. And here we are heading out for qualifying here at Road America. And this is a spec race, so everybody that's in the races, they all have cars that are A701. Um, and you can do adjustments on the wings. You can do adjustments on, the suspension, the gear ratios, and things like that. But in general, all of the cars are equal from a performance horsepower standpoint, and it's up to the driver to achieve a better result. So down to second, sometimes first gear for that hard left-hander there, a little uphill with a sweeper to the left here, sliding a little bit, coming around, hitting third gear, going into this right-hander, a little bit downhill, then it goes uphill to this left-hander. And then this long arcing right-hand turn. It opens up into, I suppose, what could be considered the back straightaway of this racetrack, if there actually is a straightaway. There's a lot of turns on this track, but it's a fast track. But with the horsepower that these cars have, you can only go so fast. These things, if you have the wings adjusted all the way down, you can get about 170 if you have a long enough straightaway. But ordinarily, on most tracks, you're only going to be able to get up to about 150, 155 miles an hour before some turn is going to show up and you have to slow down and brake. So here's transitioning over to lap 3 of qualifying. And as you can see, the time of day has altered a little bit. This race is taking place in the morning, so on the first qualifying lap there was still a lot of low ground fog, and that's lifted a little bit now. And coming around this back straightaway part, and as you can see, you can almost get up to 150 miles an hour, but then you got to slow down quite a bit for this right-hander right here. And then you come back around through these little corkscrew section here that brings you back around to the front straightaway on the track. And right now I'm in first, I'm on the pole position, but whether or not that will change because there's quite a bit of time left in qualifying. And then I'm going to edit through all of that so that when the race starts, um, it's you're not sitting around. So here we are with the race beginning, and you can see that I've actually moved all the way down to 12th place in qualifying. And there I am there. And all of these are cars that are used at the Bob Bondurant racing school. So that's why a lot of these cars have this Bondurant paint job on them. And many people, myself included, choose to change the paint job, like that guy there. This one here. Grand Bullet. Timothy Newt. Chaotic Ray Gun. And yours truly here. And so we're getting ready for the race. And we're off. And so as you can see, everybody's pulling about the same. And that guy, he just really, somebody slammed into my rear end there, kind of knocked me out of position. And I've already dropped down all the way down to 13th place. The guy over there on the left, he went off track. Guys are flying through these sandwich signs on the side of the track. I have moved up to 11th as a result of those guys going off track. And then these guys, they kind of spin. That guy in front of me, he had just gone off track. I kind of, the front end kind of dogged out on me a little bit right there, and I had to do this kind of quick recovery and come down to first gear, which allowed these people in front of me to get just a little bit further away from me than they were. And I'm fighting as hard as I can to try to rein them in, catch up to them. And the tires on these cars, they have a lot of grip, but there's only so much that you can push it to before you go too far and you lose control of the car. Somebody just tapped into my rear end. I guess it was this guy right here in this Labatt's Camel. A couple of guys there that I just got past. So I'm up to 7th, which is encouraging. But, there's a lot of laps left, and I misjudged that corner right there and go off track. And all of those people that I just passed, they just passed me back. And that guy there, he had a little, and this guy here, and somebody behind me, who apparently has not yet graduated from the Bob Bondurant School of Racing. He slammed into my rear end and knocked me into the wall. Now that's a lapped car. That's why it's a ghost car. And so now I have to try to do some real serious catching up, which is pretty hard to do when all the cars are equally matched. And by and large, when you're in this kind of position, the gains that you make are primarily as a result of somebody else's mistake, not necessarily that you're the next Emerson Fittipaldi, um, or Mario Andretti or whatever. So I'm just going to try to gain back as much ground as I can, as much as I'd like to catch the person that knocked me off the track, and possibly return the favor. The chances of that are pretty slim because all of these cars are pretty equally matched. Now this race here is 7 laps long, and I chose the medium tire compound. And based on my previous experience of driving these things offline, I know that I can last the whole race on one set of tires. So I might be able to gain some positions by people going into the pits to get fresh tires. But I don't know that yet because I haven't gotten to that point. This is only the second lap. And on that last straightaway section that I just went through, the car itself just shifted to the left and went off track. It wasn't like I drove over there. So every once in a while these kind of weird glitch kind of things happen in the race, and I'm not exactly sure why. But this guy in front of me, I might be able to catch him. And do have 4 laps left. And I'm fairly confident I know the limits of the car and what you can get away with on certain corners, and some corners, if you go through the corner in 3rd gear at 70 miles an hour, you fly off the track. But if you take that same corner in 2nd gear, you can go through that corner at 80 miles an hour. So there's certain things about the race that are kind of interesting. And I managed to get past that guy there. I get a good rating going through this section of the track. I get a 10 for the segment score, so that's like as fast as you can get through there, period. And at various increments around the track, there's scoring sections, and you can get added bonus points for going through a certain section fast, like right there, 7.6 to that segment score. Well, that's not good enough to get bonus points. You have to go through any given section at least at 8.0. And then here's some people coming out of the pits getting fresh tires. So I was able to gain a position there because I passed them because they were in the pits. But that guy has got fresher tires than I do, So he may well be able to be more aggressive in the corners and gain the position back. And this guy right here, he's all over the place, both of those guys. So I gained 2 positions right there because those guys are busy playing bumper cars with one another. And now I got my sights set on this guy in front of me here. And I'm keeping an eye on that guy in my rearview mirror. That's the guy who got fresh tires. And he went pretty wide there, but he is close. See if I can get another 10 through this section here. Well, I got a 9.6, so that's pretty close. I'm kind of taking it easy, a little bit easier on the corners, because I know that I have laps on the tires. And I'm trying to take care of the tires so I can make one set of tires last the whole race to hopefully gain more ground. And there I just passed a couple of people in the pits, so I'm up to 9th now. And these 2 guys in front of me, they seem to be getting closer. And I have the wings on this car set to the least amount of downforce so that I'll get the maximum amount of overall speed. On certain tracks, that's not advantageous because you need that downforce for the corners. But it's not like it's set to 0 downforce. It's just not set as high as it could be. So you get a little bit more speed that way. But you have to be a little bit more careful in the corners because you don't have as much downforce. So this guy right in front of me here, it kind of looks like I'm going to be able to catch this guy. Kind of went a little squirrely there. And I managed to get another 10 through that section there. So that's encouraging. And then getting this corner just right is kind of tricky. And he went a little wide, and that allowed me to catch up to him more, but I have to back off a little bit because I don't want to slam into his rear end. And I have to like maybe try to beat him out on the straightaway. And then he dives over and goes into the pits, so I'm going to gain another position because that guy just went in the pits. So I'm up to 6. Let's see if I can maintain that for the remaining lap and a half of this race. And this is, like I said at the beginning, this is Road America. And there is several different variations of the layout of Road America. And this particular layout is the longest one. It's like the Grand Prix track. On one of the layouts, that corner that we just went through, you would actually keep going straight. Oh, here comes that guy with those fresh tires. He just passed me, so I lost the position. And then I had to slow down a little bit more there because that guy braked so heavy. And it looks like he's going to get past that guy. Although I got to keep my eye on these guys to see if these guys are going to be bumping into each other, and there they are. They're bumping into each other. So here we're coming down the front straightaway, it's uphill section, and this guy in his Pennzoil car, he was able to get more speed up that hill than I was, but I get a little bit more speed in the straightaway, but I brake a little bit earlier because, you know, my heads-up display, it just told me, you know, you've got moderate tire wear. And here's another Pennzoil car. I guess there's a couple of people that are racing for Roger Penske with his Pennzoil paint job. It looks like I've got a little bit more speed than this guy here. But I got to be careful on this corner coming up, so I start braking a little bit early. And these guys spin out, and so that allows me to regain one position. And that other Pennzoil guy, he went off track, but he managed to pull it back on track without completely losing it. This guy right in front of me, I'm kind of getting the feeling that I might be able to get around this guy. So I'm gonna try to come through this section coming up as hard as I can, but at the same time be mindful of the fact that you don't have fresh tires. I did make a little bit of contact with that guy. I thought I was going to be able to get him on that corner, but that didn't work out. And I didn't navigate that one really as good as I could have. I could have got more speed coming out of that corner and maybe been able to get this guy on the straightaway. But he's going to get 6th and I'm going to get 7th. And from the looks of things, there was somebody pretty darn close to me. So that's my race at Road America in the Mazda, Formula Mazda open wheel car, courtesy of Brock Purdy, of the San Francisco 49ers. I hope you liked it. And I will see you on the racetrack.